searching the dark side of the mountain. Through my bones and hair and blood, words rise and cold snatched from my mouth to sink them into the cold black mud.
Howdy everybody, welcome to ZealZaddy, and we are in the finale of our Old Gods of Appalachia Series 3, and the end of all the series. Tonight's episode is The Bleeding Tree. You can follow us everywhere at ZealZaddy or at ZealZaddy RPG on TikTok. You can check out our D&D supplements and our Cypher supplements on DriveThruRPG. You can use the clip command, which may be of particular value this evening, to save clips that are particularly good. It is !clip. The opening and closing music is by OBP Musical. It was sung by Melody McClellan and composed by Nico Rhodes, who are deep in the throes of my next musical composition for my next stream. Not my next one, my next one. Old Gods of Appalachia. The game was created by Monte Cook Games from the podcast by DeepNerd Media of the same name. We love them both. They're both amazing. Let's bring everyone in, give them a chance to say hi or howdy, and see where we go from there. How y'all doing? Or more appropriately, how are yous doing? Are you able to, can you hear me?
Yep, we're here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
It was so silent, I was like...
It'll be fine. We just have to burn a tree.
Be fine. What could
That's
go
all
wrong?
we have left. That's all we have left to do. Just
We're burning
burn
a tree
the
in a forest. What could go wrong?
Okay,
Wait a minute. Some of y'all are in the wrong
there's
spots. What happened? Oh, no.
There's enough of a dead area around the bleeding tree that the chance of the fire spreading is not actually that high.
This will not work.
Unless there's things happening underground. But that's different.
You have seen how whoosh, all of the tar that comes from it goes. Well,
It burns in a holy flame.
All right. Give me a moment. I'm going to make sure all the windows are right before we get started, because I have a feeling they're a little wrong in a couple places. I think there was
That's
window
probably
off
from
and
when I
on.
left and came back.
Oh, yeah, that would be what happened. We'll fix that right up, and we'll be right on it again. Are you clear now that you did that?
No, but that's okay. We're plowing through.
Oh, yeah, we
We'll
are
do it
definitely-
live.
We'll do it live, exactly. That's what we're doing.
Fix it in post.
No, I will fix it
Right?
live.
We can do that, right?
I hate post editing. I will do everything live if I can.
Fix it in pre.
I will edit it out later, but as of right now, we are all in the right spots. So let's go around. Let everyone say hi. Why don't we start with Benny? Why don't you give us a start? Get us started.
Oh, okay. I am Nekola, aka Nekola the Druid, on all the social places. You can find me over at Diversity Saves. But today I also want to say that despite these 7,000 Quora answers that said that you can substitute water for milk on cornbread, it doesn't work. So this is a PSA. If you're trying to make cornbread, you need milk. I have cornbread for the session. It is just going to be eaten with a spoon.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, you must.
Starting it off weird.
That ain't weird. That's appropriate.
What said I could use water?
All right.
next time just text or message me, Nicola. I could have told you that.
Or just ping the Discord.
Father
Just ping the
Bartimaeus,
Discord.
why don't you
It
give
mostly.
us-
It mostly. It's fine.
Should have ate it.
Fine. It fits in your pocket all the same.
Pocket cornbread.
Pocket cornbread is still pocket cornbread.
Father Bartimaeus, take it to the next level.
Hello, everybody. I am Father Bartimaeus. I am being played by TR Grimm. You can find me at all of my socials on at empathic_Grimm. I am a game designer, game reviewer, and burgeoning internet personality, apparently. So it's great. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back.
All right. Why don't we go to Kayla? Not Kayla, Tegan.
Hey y'all. So I'm playing Tegan Foxcroft, who is a perceptive tinkerer who crafts powerful objects. I am played by Kayla. You may know me as DM Dalliance, or some version of just K, depending on where you found me on the interwebs, because I've been here for a really long time, and everything hurts. I'm also the general manager over at UO, so if you love Cypher, like you love, obviously, if you're here watching us play Old Gods of Appalachia, then you love Cypher, or you should, and you soon will. UO does a ton of Cypher stuff. We have 2 Cypher settings coming out, Horror of the Blighted Plane, which comes out at the end of next month. If you back that, you should be seeing more information about that and getting details about that. And then it will be available for people who missed out on the Kickstarter shortly after that. And then you'll be hearing details on our Kickstarter for our second setting, Wild Space, in September. And details around that. Otherwise, we have Cypher short collections that come out every month, from everything from post-apocalyptic to we're getting ready to start our Dark Super cycle. So if you want some adventure in your superheroes, come check us out. And sorry not sorry if you die in one of my shorts.
Okay. Well, one thing I have to appreciate is the fact that you went on Cypher Unlimited, had a great interview, shouted out this game publicly for everyone. I thought that was awesome. Thank you so much. They are an amazing group over there. Love them all. Why don't we go to Robby? Not Robby, Walter.
Yeah, get it right.
Getting all the names wrong.
You see, if you've been with us this far, you know that I am Walter Gwynnon at heart, and only Robby Weiss in the real world. But I am Robby Weiss. I am again playing Walter Gwynnon, the perceptive beekeeper who masters the swarm, and I have been having an absolute blast, experiencing the hills and hollers of a very dark Appalachia, and it has been an emotional roller coaster, like a lot, and I love it. And I've thoroughly enjoyed playing alongside these incredible castmates of mine, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. But if you're interested in checking out what I'm doing, which I'm hoping to get back into some more voice acting things, if you have a project that you're interested in, well, give me a holler. I'd be happy to help you out with something. But or you just want to check out my keys, because I'm getting beat. I'm becoming Walter Gwynnon this year. So if you want to follow along with that, you can check out my link tree.
Yes. Have you named your actual real life swarm yet?
I have not yet gotten my swarm yet, but they are on order.
All right.
They're taking their sweet time coming up from the bogs and swamps of Florida.
I can't wait to see the bee cam one day. Hive cam or whatever it's going to be. And Professor Erwin Hayes.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Brandon Hall playing Professor Erwin Hayes, I always have to look at it, the shifty speaker who speaks in tongues, currently residing inside of a worm. Really excited to see what happens with that. And hopefully you are too. Yeah, really excited.
Yeah. It was very hard for me to figure out how to script out how to describe digestive juices and whatnot.
Like a jacuzzi.
Like a jacuzzi. That's a good one. Better than I
like a
thought of.
sous vide bath, if you will.
That's better than what I thought of. That's pretty good. Well, welcome back, family. In every old town in Appalachia, there are old trees that are looked at with, well, suspicion. In Guilty Hole, it's the one commonly called the Bleeding Tree, a giant of a tree of unknown origin and type. It grows wider than it does tall, but it is still able to tower over most of the trees around it. Black sap drips down and is known to cause hard to heal burns. All the granny magic in the world always warns you about this tree. Robber flies buzz about it, climbing into the rotten flesh smelling flowers that open only at night. And they keep the bees and other bugs alike away, defending the tree like a swarm of their own. The town's wise women, of course, believe the bleeding tree is a thing of malice. And if you're sensitive, you can hear it whispering to you. Or worse, feel it reaching ever so slowly toward where you stand. It's now known to the worm grunters here that it does more than that, though. It takes people, and it don't give them back willingly. When we last left, we said goodbye to the giant that was bringing joyous drunkenness to the town as we entered day one of Prohibition. John Barleycorn faded off into the distance, leaving behind a legacy, a legacy no one will remember. It's kind of it's his way, right? But then everyone else had been hammered pretty hard by the explosives that Tegan brought down into the caves, and the worm that took the hit from it direct, and the fire that ensued, and the dark creatures in the tunnels, and finally the middle finger from Jennifer Love. But everyone did get out of that cave that was an unofficial entrance. And we find ourselves now at dusk as the light settles. Injuries are healed up a little bit. And we are missing one, Professor Erwin Hayes, to the darkness of the mountain. But we are up one, Evie Gwinnen, daughter of Walter Gwinnen. I'll let you take it from here.
I'm cradling my daughter, and just kind of brushing through her hair. I imagine she's probably just passed out at this point.
She is exhausted, yes.
And I'm just cradling her because I haven't had her for I don't even know how long. It feels like it's been years at this point.
That's because it's been years, I believe, right? Or has it been just under a year? I don't remember exactly.
Something like that. Either way, it's been far too long, and I'm just beyond thrilled to have had the help to get her back. You're gonna be all right. Yeah. You're gonna be just fine.
Miss Foxcroft.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you and I need help burning down the tree at this point.
Oh no, the kids should probably go get seen to. The first time under in any mind, you're gonna have like taffy stuff.
Walter, why don't you go ahead and take your daughter and Benny to see Gazzy, and from there, once we're done burning the tree, I will secure us all tickets to St. Louis via rail, and we can head there directly if you are still considering my offer about assistance.
Yeah, I can definitely take the girls over there.
Okay, and again, while you're doing that, just I promise you there are no strings attached to my offer. I simply want what's best for you and your daughter.
Listen, and I put my hand on your shoulder. I appreciate you and I appreciate your help. I know it's been a little bit contentious between us here and there, but I know it was for the best.
Lugs the Benny. Follow Walter. He's going to take you to Ghazi, get you checked out and be okay. Miss Foxcroft and I will be along shortly afterwards. We just have one last thing to take care of, and then we're going to get out of this town and go to a much better place.
Now, y'all sure you don't need no help?
If there's one thing I know how to do, Walter, is to set things on fire and explode them. So I think we're probably good.
Looking around the mine, Miss Foxcroft, they would happen to have large quantities of salt around here, would they?
Not pure salt. They'll have like a saltpeter sawdust mix to dust the mines
Saltpeter
with.
is fine.
Yeah.
Saltpeter works.
Yeah. Less coal in the lungs.
Saltpeter works. Would they happen to have pure saltpeter by chance?
I mean, that depends on how cheap the peckerwood Nick was.
It'll be pure enough to make a circle to help bind everything inside. It's fine. It'll work.
Okay.
As Walt and Evie and Benny go to walk away, Benny turns back to Tegan, and says, "Okay, be sure to give this back when you're done. But maybe it'll help. I don't know." And she gives her ever-growing string that is super long at this point, and gives it to her and says, "Bring it back when you're done."
Okay, and I'm gonna pull out the giant pocket knife that she keeps and hand it to Benny, and then put the string in the pocket that the knife was in. Crazies. Yeah, that way you make sure that you get it back.
Y'all come back.
Okay.
Oh, we will. I have no plans at this point to do anything else. So I'm grabbing one bag, if I can grab two bags of saltpeter, and we're grabbing all the moonshine we can, and we're going to go light this fucker up.
I mean, we got the wag. No, we don't got the wag. We can steal one of the carts. I don't think
We can steal a cart. That's
I don't
fine.
think Miss Love is gonna really
She ain't
care
gonna
at
miss
this
it.
point.
She's not going to miss it.
We'll steal one of the carts.
And you have to traverse quite a bit of wilderness to get around the mountainside to where the road is and all that. You are on the wilder side of the mountain at this point. No roads go along here, no rails. So it is a trek, and it is nighttime at this point. So as you're walking, one thing that you note, Walter, is that there are flies kind of buzzing the forest around here that you remember as the robber flies that were on the tree before. And every now and then you sense the death of one of your bees, because robber flies kill bees.
Damn, I hate these damn things.
Your daughter is... What do you hate, Daddy?
These damn flies.
They're just bugs like everything else, ain't they?
No, they take our bees.
But bees got stingers. How can a fly take a bee? That don't make no sense.
Well, unfortunately, when bees sting, hun, they don't. It's a one-time deal. They're done after that.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
These flies are bad business.
I think there's a part of Tegan that really wants to go into very graphic detail on how a robber fly can kill a honeybee, but then, like, realizes that that's not socially appropriate.
Right.
And then was like, had moved to go do it, and then like slowly backed up to her part of where they were walking.
And you make your way around the mountainside, and you find yourself at the roadway that runs into the mine area, which is where you had gone in the first place. It's not, there's no guard on duty that you know of at the moment. You don't see none, at least. But you're not really surprised, because the mine was shut down and the drinking was hard and the drunkenness was harder. But you do feel the presence of the mine behind you as you hit the road itself. there's a cart that you could use here in the shed out front where they would have supplies. It's not really a shed as much as a large garage. They mean it's a supply shed, but it's big. There's no lights anywhere here. There should be. There ought to be lights if it was a normal night, but Eddie Nicks normally made sure of that kind of stuff, and without him being here, ain't nobody doing nothing.
I think Tegan's just gonna take one of the carts and just start throwing everything she thinks could maybe be flammable or explosive into it.
Well, when you get in, you actually find there is some unused dynamite in here, just not a lot. There's 6 sticks that were unused. That is the most explosive thing in here. But there's other supplies also. There's salts and various kinds, bauxite, in samples, things like that, and all kinds of shovels and tools and what have you, and carts.
All goes into the cart.
All right.
Pagan's not taking any chances. Anything that's flammable or explosive, they are taking to put on the tree.
Every salt that's going in the cart, blessing the salt, blessing the salt, blessing the salt, blessing the salt, blessing the... Just puts in a bag, gets blessed. All of it's getting blessed.
Blessed is the salt.
Blessed is the salt.
And you load up the cart with all the stuff you find, and you are able to head out down the road. There's no lights on the road, of course, so you see where it turns down into the town, and it's a heavy cart now because it's loaded up pretty good, and the road it has a decline that you will feel as you go down, that's for sure. And it takes a couple people to kind of keep it from getting away from you, because it ain't like a cart in the mines that's got a brake. It's just a cart. The brake is your muscles. Thank goodness you got a little bit of healing going on before, and you got some of your muscles back. And you're able to head down the road, and you get to town, and there are people just starting to wake up from laying on the streets and on the porches in front of some of the establishments. And there are signs and symbols written all over the doors and places. And they are in the handwriting of Gazzy that you have seen before. Looks like she went through trying to do something.
Looks like Gazzy's got some workings going on.
I mean, wouldn't you too if the town was drunk from a deity of drunkenness?
At this point, we may as well make Gazzy the mayor of this town. She does a better job of taking care of things than mayor ever did.
Well, then who would he go to when we got hurt all the time? I
We would
feel
go
like
to
we
the
have
mayor.
seen her at least
No.
twice a day since all this has been going on.
And you see TJ Booker stumble out the door. Oh, I got no more liquor if you're coming here for that. I'm plumb out at the moment. Oh my God, I got the worst headache I have ever had.
Go sleep it off, sir.
I'm going to sleep it off soon. I'm going to go home for the
Go,
first time.
go
in a
sleep it
week.
off.
And he goes to shut the door, and he goes, I think this is the last time I'm going to be able to shut this door on my bar. And he
Yes. Wink, wink. It is. Wink, wink.
and he opens the door, and he turns the sign around that is open or closed and puts closed. And he locks the door, and he goes over to his truck and turns it on. The lights go on. See you around.
Tegan's gonna lean over to Walter and be like, was that wrong? Was that too subtle? Like, did he get? Cause he seemed kind of sad.
Yeah, let the hangover wear off. It'll-
Okay.
And he turns around and drives towards his home. You're now in the center square of the town, and you hear the ground rumble and feel it shake a bit. Again.
We need to get to the tree.
Yep.
Come on, let's get y'all to Gazzy's.
You head to Gazzy's. We're gonna cut away to Professor Irwin for a moment. So, Professor, when you are taken in, the darkness comes quickly. The arms grasp, and they grasp painfully, grips like a vice, and they pull you in with their embrace until from behind the darkness closes all around to pitch. You do feel a warmth inside, like a campfire, at least for a time. The burning wood smells sweet, even like cooking a suckling pig for a barbecue kind of smell, like just almost mouth-watering. And it warms your legs and your torso, and to a degree your heart. You feel welcome here. You feel the touch of the others who reach to you, and they touch you along like a Messiah held on their hands. They're discordant, mumbling chants that you can hear, that the words begin to make sense to you. They are in the language of the book that you have been studying. And you have the words after a bit. They just seem distant, but the hands are not.
We've got to stop this. Whoever you are, we've got to stop this.
And the hands tug on you and they pull at the clothing that you have. And you feel yourself, it's like you're moving, but you ain't walking. You can feel the motion of whatever is happening all around you. It undulates and it tucks and pulls. And you feel like you're in a swarm of humanity, bodies all around, pulling and pushing. We hear you. You have the words. And they chant that from wherever they are. You hear it. And then the book opens before you on a podium in a great chamber. And there's an audience of hundreds. And you look, no, thousands. The people fade into the shadows as they continue so far you can't see the end of the throng of people out there. And they wait for you. And the book opens.
Look down at it.
The book is clear now. Spells and conjurations of all kind, capable of feats both great and subtle. And they're there for you. Almost anything is possible now that you understand the words in this tome that you've been studying for all this time. And the fog is cleared between your mind and this. You know you could turn away horrors if they try and bring harm to your world with this. You can feel the mountain in you and in the book. You can feel the soil, the fire of the moon, the gentleness of the starry night, you can see everything. And you know you can defend the night if you wanted to. There's enough here. And the silence is real.
Look at the crowd. They're just all staring.
They're all waiting. They're staring at you. Their arms are to their sides. They're looking at you. And you're above them. You are raised up.
Not the public speaker. He just looks at them and uncharismatically just says, "We have to stop this."
And you hear them chanting, "We gotta stop this. We gotta stop it." And it grows and cascades out from where the people could hear closely, and it radiates out to the ones in the distance, and you hear it continue. And then it stops. And they're looking at you again.
"What do we do?" he says.
"We do what you need us to do."
Are you the worm?
You're the
What?
worm. We're the worm.
You're the worm. You're the worm. Then let us head to the tree.
And you feel the undulations of whatever the mechanism is around you, and you feel like you're the one making this thing move, and the people in it are pulling and pushing with arms and legs that reach through a film on the outside and move through holes, and every now and then you feel the heat of fire in the front. Not so much a front as a direction. And you smell the baking of rock as it bores new holes. And you travel for a while. You're not sure exactly where or how you're doing it. And then it stops. And we're going to hop back outside the worm to our friends in town, going to Gazzy's. Y'all get to Gazzy's. The horses are out front. They allow your passage without any concerns. It is nighttime, but there is no light inside Gazzy's home. That does not mean Gazzy's not home, though.
I'm going to call out loudly, but just loudly enough so that it's like I could call into the house, kind of rap on the door. Gazzy, you home?
And after a while, the door opens and you see a townfolk there. You're not sure who it is. Gazzy's upstairs sleeping. Are you all looking for the cure for the headaches too? Don't laugh so hard. It really hurt. It hurts bad.
You'll be all right. Sleep it off.
We're trying. Come on in. She said to welcome in anyone that needed it. There's on the stove, there's the most horrible drink you will ever have if you need to clear your mind of the hangover that we all had.
I think I'm all right.
And
Hey,
So
Benny?
while we've been walking, Benny has been like full, like German Shepherd mode.
oh, okay.
And when this, not an actual German Shepherd,
Oh,
just German Shepherd mode,
okay.
where she is like
I was gonna say they're the same.
she's like, yeah, she's like got her big knife and she's being all like protective, and as soon as they say come on in, she like walks straight into the house and like goes and like gets a blanket and brings it back to Walt, and like puts it on him, and like there's a certain like code among orphans to like take care of each other. And even though Evie's not an orphan, she's a kid.
She's an
And
honorary orphan.
So Benny feels like super like sort of. Yeah. And so she is like, we got this, Walt. Anyway, you were gonna say?
Thank you. I was gonna say, hey Benny, can you do me a favor and run up and, don't wake her up too much, but just let her know that we're here and that we found her.
Okay.
And when you are coming back with the blanket for them, you stop for a moment and you look to the left, and the room with the one with the orb, there are people just sleeping all over the floor. There are people sitting in every chair, kind of lean back, and they're all just asleep. But then you hand the blanket and you go through what you have.
Adults are weird. Yeah, Benny will, give the blanket and then go like quietly. She doesn't think that it's gonna necessarily wake people up to be making noise, but she's still trying to be a little like, stealthy about it. To go up to Gazzy's room. Also keeping an eye out for the snake that we know just exists in this house.
Just turn into a
and
mongoose.
kind of peek into Gazzy's room.
And you go up to Gazzy's room, and the door is closed.
Don't tempt me.
There are people sleeping in the hallway. There's one person sleeping on the stairs in what looks like a very uncomfortable position. And you get up to Gazzy's room, and the door's not locked or anything, but it is closed.
Yeah, she'll like crack it open. She's like doing that thing where you're like, and you're just, yep.
A deep rumbling snore.
Do we just figure out where the earthquakes are coming from?
If anybody's
Anyway.
powerful enough, it's Gazzy.
Man. Benny won't feel guilty at all for going in, and like Nekola feels a little guilty. But Benny will come in very quietly and like find Gazzy's shoulder and just kind of shake it a little bit.
When you walk in, a step or two in, you get this overwhelming smell of alcohol and sweat, like just horrible. There are places in here where there are splashes of vomit in corners, on the bed, etc. And there is a burning set of some kind of plant in a jar. It is burning. It is making a scent in here that it is trying to prevent the smell from being what it is, but it is totally overwhelmed by the actual smells of the room.
Ew.
Who's there?
Miss Cassie, it's Benny.
Benny who?
I'm,
I can't see you. Where are you? And she's looking at you.
what?
Where are you at?
Right in front of you, Miss Cassie.
And she, oh, there you are. Oh, you're the little one. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm a little under the weather today.
Oh no. Walt asked me to come up here because we found Evie and we have her downstairs.
He found his little girl?
Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy story, Miss Gazzy, and when you're feeling better, we'll tell you all about it.
Help
Maybe
me
if you
help
tell me
up.
where...
And she's kind of
Okay.
half on the bed, half on the floor. Can you help me up? My legs are a little wobbly at the moment.
Okay. Benny,
And she's,
does her best.
yeah, Gazzy ain't lying. And she lifts up on your shoulder
No,
pretty hard
Benny
and on
ain't
the
big.
bed. Oh, thank you, little one. Let's go see Evie. And she takes a step, and her legs kind of wobble, and she catches herself by the post of the bed.
Gazzy, if you need to stay up here,
How many people are downstairs?
oh, so many.
Oh,
I ain't been in this town long, but it looks like half the town is in your downstairs.
oh yeah.
They're all asleep though.
Oh,
There's also some on the stairs.
they probably used the drink I made. It kind of takes the drunk from them, but it has to go somewhere. And she says, hey, can you help me to the door? Just get me to the door for a moment.
Oh.
And she stumbles to the door,
Okay.
and she pulls it open. And when she pulls it open, like like the door isn't support, and it just sort of opens her and splays her arms. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, let's go.
Is
girl.
it safe? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine in a couple of days, I'm sure. And she walks to the wall on the other side and kind of leans to it. Oh, okay. And she stands at the top of the stairs and looks at the guy sleeping on it. Oh man, that guy's in the worst place, ain't he? Okay, let's
I think Benny helps her lean against the wall and then goes halfway down the stairs and whispers really loud, Walter!
She takes her first step while you're with.
I think we need to trade.
That's Robby laughing.
Can you
by the
make
way.
me Benny, can you make me a speed roll, please?
Yes. Okay, I do have absolutely nothing. Okay. A 9.
And when she
I'm not gonna
falls, she
change
falls
that.
on you, and you both go sliding down the stairs, and you take a point of damage, and stumble down, and she ends up on her back, and you all in the other room hear some boom.
Walter is there in a second.
Oh my gosh, that hurts so much. Oh. And you see it.
I'm sorry, I'm not that big.
And you see Benny saying that from out behind the flat Gazzy at the bottom of the stairs.
Gazzy, you all right?
She took all the drunkenness.
I'm having a rough day. Can you help up Benny? Help up Benny.
She'll be all right. No, fake Benny.
And she goes, and when she gets up, her butt smushes into your abdomen, and it don't cause no wounds or nothing, but it's definitely uncomfortable because Gazzy's not small, and she's got some bony hips. Oh, Oh my God, did everybody from the town come? She looks around. Holy cow. Well, that explains a lot. Oh, Walt, I heard, you found your little girl. Is that true?
Yeah, we found her. It seems like we need to find you some coffee.
Oh, yeah, coffee would be so good. Although, honestly, I would like to just go back to bed. What about your wife?
we couldn't get her.
Oh,
We tried.
No.
Yeah,
Oh no.
it's all right.
I'm so sorry. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, and it turns into a lean and kind of a slump onto your shoulder. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to steady myself, but everything's just spinning like I'm in a tornado.
You're all right. You're all right.
And she sits down on the bottom landing of the stairs.
Listen, where you wanting to go? We don't got to do nothing right
I
away.
don't want to go nowhere. I'm going to stay right here. Can I see Evie? I'd like to see her.
She's laying down on the couch out in the living room.
Oh, okay. I'll see her when she wakes up.
Meanwhile,
when we both
Benny-
wake up.
Benny is gonna like back out of there and go. She said trade you. She's gonna go sit. She's gonna go be next to Evie, while y'all finish the conversation.
And when you head out, she goes, Benny, thank you for getting me up for this. This is important. It's really important that you got me to see this. I really appreciate all the help getting me out of the bed too. I'm having a rough moment, I guess. So you.
It's okay, Miss Cassie.
So where'd you get her from? Was she kidnapped or something?
Oh, she was down in the mine.
What?
Something dark took them both.
Why was she in the mine?
I don't understand it either, but it's the thing that's been messing with the town. And it's all got to do something with that tree and worms, and it's just something evil is in this town and under this town.
I do something, but I'm plumb out of everything right now.
Listen, you've done plenty by just keeping this town safe and letting us come out here once a day, it seems like, every once in a while. And it's about time we take care of you too.
Hold on a second. I do got something around here. Hold on. Oh, she goes into. She stumbles her
just
way
tell me
to
where
the
it's at.
kitchen.
Just tell me where it's at. I'll get it for you.
If you go in the kitchen, there's going to be a jar in my pantry, and it's going to say chicken bones in there.
Oh, okay.
Just bring me the jar.
And I do just that.
And you get the jar and you bring it back to her, and she reaches in and she pulls a bone out. She takes the lid off and pulls a bone, and they're strung together into a necklace of chicken bones. This may help you. It might let you kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like feel like people around you, like know where they are and whatnot. And maybe you could find others if there's more there. But
You mean you think this can help me find Ellie?
I was trying to make it. I don't know if it's even going to work. I was trying to make it before the drunk thing happened, and it may or may not. I don't know. I was hoping it would be able to help you, and it may not do nothing. It might look good as a necklace, and it just looks terrible as a necklace. I mean, the chicken bones
look like one of them voodoo hoo-hoo witch doctors like you.
Yeah. I don't know.
Listen, I'll take it. I appreciate it.
This, I hate to say it, but I don't know if I have a bed upstairs to put your girl in so she can rest while you go out and see if you can get your wife back and whatnot.
Oh, don't worry about that. I pushed everybody who was on the couch on the floor.
Oh, all right.
I don't think they felt a thing.
And her eyes, they're kind of half open and half closed sometimes. 3/4 closed, and they open and they fade down. And eventually she just sort of leans back on the stairs, and the body that's behind her, that was a person up there, she kind of uses as a pillow. And she falls asleep on the landing.
I don't have any might left unless you let us heal at all, but
You did heal from the liquor that John Barleycorn had left.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Well, in any case, I'll figure that out in a minute, but I want to scoop her up, Gazzy, and I want to put her in, like, what's that?
She ain't easily scoopable.
Okay, never mind. I was going to put her in her, I assume she's got a recliner of her own out there or something.
Sure. She does. I mean, you might be able to get her over there with some help.
It's just me and Benny here.
Oh. And 100 drunk people.
I don't think I'll be any help.
Well, undrunken people. Becoming
Maybe
less
I'll just
drunk.
leave her be. She looks comfortable.
Yeah, she's holding her own there. I guess you and Benny are heading out. I'll watch Evie. She says as she gets up, and she starts stumbling around trying to get somewhere. Sorry, I think I closed my eyes for longer than I ought to. And she heads to the seat that you were talking about, and it is actually empty. There's no one sitting in that seat.
I'd have kicked him out if there was.
She leans into it. All right. Well, go on then. Go do what you got to do. As soon as I feel like I can get going again, I will definitely follow up and see what I can do to help.
Thank you, Gazzy. You know, we all appreciate it.
All
Now,
right.
hey, Benny.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I know Tegan and Father Bartimaeus said stay here, but I think they could use our help.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to listen to them.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
I mean, I was, but but once Evie was safe, and I think Evie is. I know there's a lot of people here, but I think Gazzy, between Gazzy and the horses, I think Evie's safe.
Yeah, I think if anywhere's going to be safe, it's going to be Gazzy's. And at that, I'm going to walk over to Evie and say, kind of brush through her hair. Hey, honey, can you hear me?
Yeah, Daddy, I hear you.
Hey, I gotta go run an errand real quick, all right? I'll be right back, but you're here at Gazzy's. You remember Miss Gazzy?
I remember Miss Gazzy. Didn't she bring me into the world?
She
Didn't you tell me
sure
that?
did, yep.
I thought you told me that.
Yep. She's just laying over there on in her chair.
She's always
real
got
sleepy.
candy.
But don't go looking for it, all right? You don't need none of that.
All right. I'm just gonna sleep. I'm really tired.
Yep. You get some rest, and I'll be back in the morning, okay?
All right. And she reaches up and hugs you.
I love you, honey.
She kisses you on your cheek. Thank you, Pa. I didn't think I was gonna see you again. It's just so nice.
That makes two of us, honey.
All right. And she lets her arms slide down, and she turns sideways and like shoves her shoulders under the cover and head on the armrest, comfortable.
Yep. I tuck her in and give her a. There's probably like a single tear running down his cheek as he's getting ready to walk away from his daughter they just found, but give her a kiss on the head and all right, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Let's go, Benny.
Bye, Benny.
All right. So, bye, Evie. We'll be back.
All right. I like you as a cat.
I'll do that. It's kind of fun.
All right. And she just falls right to sleep.
Okay, you mentioned at the end of that we got healing, but I don't think I wrote healing down.
Yeah, you got a D6 of healing from the liquor before the sundown canceled it out.
It may or may not have gotten you enough to get unimpaired because it got me enough to almost be fully back in speed, but I am still 0 in my.
I did not. I was not impaired. As we go outside, Benny's gonna tell Walt. Well, I kind of want to try. I kind of want to try something real quick.
Yeah, what's that?
And she is going to go to Gazzy's horses.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna like approach him kind of slowly. There's been interactions, and I think that the horses like got told to be okay with letting us through. I don't know if they're like, but Benny's gonna try and like put her hand out to one of the horses.
Okay, it lets you.
And like see if she can touch him.
You can. It actually nuzzles into your hand.
And so Benny is gonna then whisper to the horses. One of the horses, the horse that she is talking to, as I mark off that I'm burning 2 intellect points. She's gonna say, you're like one of the biggest horses that I've ever seen, and you look like really strong, and the whole town and kind of the whole forest is in danger right now, and we need to really get to our friends. And I'm wondering if we could ride you through the forest to them. And she's using communication, which allows you to convey a basic concept to a creature that normally can't speak or understand speech. The creature can give you a very basic or simple answer.
Do you need to make a roll with that, or is it automatic, the communication?
No, I burned 2 intellect points.
Okay. You do it, and
it's automatic.
And
they don't have to agree with me.
I understand. The horse kneels to let you up. The other one comes over to Walter and kind of nudges him with his head. With its head.
I ain't never ridden no horse before, but I'll give it a try.
Well, I mean, Walt, neither have I, but they're fast.
If we're going out on a horse.
Okay. And
Betty wants to ride the horses.
Right. You climb up on the horses with some effort. They do have bridles and whatnot, although they are uncomfortable. It's not. You're not used to being on an animal like that.
Just for flavor, do they convey their names to Benny? Just out of my own curiosity.
Sure. Benny, what are their names?
Oh, their names are Their names are Hank and Penny. Look,
Hank and Penny.
you want me to be creative? It doesn't happen. My cats are in every story. They're Hank and Penny.
It's perfect.
I like it. You get on the horses, and they start at a little more than a walk, not a run or nothing, to get you comfortable or start to get comfortable. And they seem to kind of know how fast they can go without you sliding off or falling off on their own. But they do react pretty well to Benny kind of leaning in and whispering to it or talking to it the way that Benny was. And you're able to ride the horses at a more than a trot, not quite a run, but definitely faster than walking. And you ride all the way back to where you're going. Back in town, y'all, where are Father Bartimaeus and Tegan going with your cart?
I mean, we're heading to the tree, but I think Tegan is full, like, okay, so we take like 2 dynamite sticks each. We put a bunch of the chemicals and things in one of the burlap sacks bags we have, and then we put the 2 dynamite in the middle of it and pull out the lead and then tie up the bag and then soak the bag in moonshine so everything burns hot and fast, and it will also light the little wick thingy, and boom.
So there's also, if I remember correctly, a hill leading up to it. What if we light it and just push the entire cart down?
My main concern is something like the roots coming alive, because we know they act like worms.
But when the roots start burning, it all starts burning.
I would feel a lot more comfortable if we made sure it got to the thing. I'm also concerned that the last time we like destroyed like a little part of this thing when we found like an offshoot,
Lake of fire?
Not only a lake of fire, which is currently still on my property, thank you for that, but also a cloud of robber flies came out of that one like miniature tree thing we found, and I'm concerned that if we release like a tree's worth of robber flies, Walter would kill me.
So in that case, can we generate the because you're the person who understands the explosions. Can we generate the explosion so that the fireball goes up with it consuming all of the rubber flies?
To do that, we would need to make sure that they get as close to the trunk as possible. Because my assumption is, right, if the roots and the branches and the leaves all have that weird sticky icky that burns really well, and it has caused a infinity fire in my property, thanks again for that, that
it'll be warm in the winters.
There's a lot of it in the trunk, because that is the thick boy. And so if we get it to that to explode first, then, you know.
That looks about right.
So what you're saying is, so long as we can get the explosives to the tree trunk, we can kind of get it all in one go.
Yeah, and I think Tegan starts like doing diagrams on the side of the cart as they're pushing it, like pulls out.
So I'm assuming in Tegan's state, it's really Bartimaeus is pushing.
Yeah. Tegan still has a might of 0. I don't think you guys realize. I recovered speed. I did not yet recover might. So it's just like crouched down and crab walking while trying. The moonshine will burn, which will burn a lot of things as it goes. The added like saltpeter and everything else we found will add to the fire, and they will burn hot enough and fast enough that even if the wick doesn't get lit, that it should still trigger the TNT to go off. So we have as many redundancies as possible, but also I don't trust that tree, and also still a little concerned that we haven't seen the last of the professor. I'm not really trusting anything right now.
That's fair.
Yep.
So you continue walking, pushing and pulling the cart as best you can. And you are about to turn off the road toward the tree. And in the distance, you see a light in a window. And you know that window is the window to Auntie Pavati, who, like Gazzy, is a midwife and does a bit of granny magic here and there, that kind of thing. And she is a friend of the town, too. Father Bartimaeus, I don't think, has met her or know, maybe doesn't even know of her.
It probably is a good thing to maybe have some extra magic in on this situation, right, Father? Like good magic, like green magic.
Yes, this is the kind of instance where those who have the ability to heal would be good to have on hand. Those who understand the positive ways of using the energies.
I think as soon as he said yes, Tegan just went straight for Auntie Pavati's door. It was just like saying, yep, Father, continuing as she just like went over and knocks.
And you get to the door, and as you get to the door, you don't need to knock. The door just opens. Well, if it ain't Tegan Foxtrot, it looks like you brought a cart of it smells like booze. Have you been? Is that all liquor you've been drinking?
No. Okay, so do you want the long version or the short version?
And she comes out, she sits down in one of the two chairs sitting up there. I got time. What do you got?
How much do you like the wood right here? And she just points to whatever wood on the porch she's standing on.
Well, I like my porch.
Well, I mean, you won't have to get rid of it. There's just going to be writing on it.
Well, there's writing up above my door. And she also, you'll notice, she has a broom on the ground in front of the door. And I got my broom there, too. You know, the handle of it stretches in front of the door. So, and you think that is like a ward or something like that.
So she did get a negative, so Tegan's just gonna take her pencil out slowly and start like drawing the conspiracy web of everything that has happened that they've already kind of explained to Yazzie once, so they at least have some experience explaining it.
You're just writing it on the wood?
Yeah, just drawing it out and showing her everything and be like, so, we're going to go burn the bleeding tree, and that is the conclusion of today's presentation. I will be taking questions now.
You look like you've been burned and fallen into a vat of coal.
That is accurate. Yes, we fought a giant worm in the coal mines, that ate the professor. And now it's kind of a worm. It's a worm born of the roots of the bleeding tree, but it is like a worm that is big enough to make huge
wait a minute,
mining coal tunnel holes.
The tree, it's a plant. It don't
It's
make
not
worms.
just a plant. So as you can see in the diagram, it takes people, sucks them in through something, absorbs them, and then like makes these little pod things that then like drip and like and makes like little grub things that then grow up to be big worm people eaters. It's
I mean,
not.
I've always thought that tree was a dangerous thing. That tree is not right.
Also, it's like, I guess technically like worm plus, because they still maintain like if they open their mouths, there's like arms and hands and things to like grab you. That wasn't fun.
That is the most gross thing I may have ever heard.
I'm gonna have nightmares for decades.
And who's this gentleman with you? Now that you've told me the whole story, and I gotta thank him for just being silent while you spoke to me.
So this is Father Bartimaeus, who is here to actually investigate the weird demon hoobity-woobity that happened a while ago, and has been assisting us in getting rid of all of this other nonsense that has happened since.
Well, from the dirty white collar you're wearing, I assume you are from the Catholic Church or something.
I am, ma'am. I am one of the church's exorcists. They still got those? There are not as many as there used to be. But there are still things going on in the world that do need to be put back where they came from.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Sounds like this tree needs to be put, well, somewhere.
And that is what Miss Foxcroft and I are planning on doing.
Well, you ought not go doing it the way you look right now. You look banged up. And you hear in the distance the sound of horses.
Yeah, I did mention the whole almost being eaten by a giant worm thing.
To be fair...
And also almost killed by ghosts. Minor ghost things.
Tommy knockers, it's fine. Those are easy to dispatch if you know how to take care of them. That's not that bad. Flashback to Father Bartimaeus B. But no, what we are more concerned about is, did Miss Foxcroft mention to you that one of our companions was eaten by the worm? Or
gestures at porch.
willingly went into the worm, depending on how you look at it.
I ain't never seen a worm big enough to eat a person. That normally worms get into people, not people get into worms. So. Oh
no, this one gets people into it. We had to peel Walter Gwynon's daughter out of a worm.
So since Tegan was super up close and personal, close enough to shake hands with some of the mouth hands, would she have a great frame of reference for like the general size of this thing?
Ask that again.
So since Tegan was close enough to interact with the worm, where like
reference?
Yeah, like a size reference, like how many Tegans tall and like wide was the mouth?
It's about a Tegan and a half tall. Mm-hmm. You don't actually know how long. Mm-hmm. You never saw it all stretched out. It was longer than a couple of cars at least.
It would take 1.5 of me to like wedge its mouth open. So pretty big.
But it was a root worm or something, like you said. It was a
yeah. So like this is where your expertise comes in, because I just poke and prod the weird and make things from it. You know the green and all that. So it was like bleeding tree roots, person trapped in it, and then like juicified and turned into grub that dropped to the ground, that then grew up. But the grub's also like, it was a grub like this, and it would have like a hand out here and like an arm out here.
From what we were able to see, the grubs were created from the decomposing parts of the body that the bleeding trees or roots had taken in.
And not always.
I ain't never come across nothing like that. It is definitely a horrific thing to think
It
about.
Was. It was quite horrific.
And you hear the horses get closer, and you see Walter and Benny coming up to the porch. on a couple horses that you recognize as Gazzy's
Slow down, Benny, slow down. Oh, whoa.
And they stop. And Auntie Pavati gets up.
I don't know how to do that.
They just stop. Well, I'll be. Gazzy let you use our horses?
For some reason, I don't think "let" was the operative term on that.
And I don't think I'm going to be doing that again.
Look,
No
Gazzy's-
offense, Penny.
You only fell once
Yes.
or twice, probably.
Gazzy's real busy right now.
Yeah, she's always busy. We're always busy. You know, the
So we
baby
decided
being
to
born.
give her some space.
Yeah, give me 1 second. She goes in and comes back out, and she's got an apple for each of the horses. And well, I have never seen the two of you over here. It is like a proud thing to have you visiting. And well, Walter, I know you, but I do not know the youngin there.
That would be Benny. She is my ward.
Benny.
Hi, I'm Benny.
You got a nice aura about you. It's nice to see that.
Someone said it was green.
It is green. Very nice. Very nice. Walt, what brings you around here? You and Tegan? Are you all teaming up on some bee bombs or something?
Well,
Bee bombs, Walter, bee bombs.
write that down. We'll figure it out later.
Bee bombs. I got bee bombs.
And an exorcist? This is an unusual thing, and all of you look like you have been run through the ringer.
It's been a long few days.
You hungry?
And Benny holds up like her knife.
Benny, you can put the knife down for the moment.
Okay.
Are you hungry? Would you like some cornbread? Maybe some beans or something? I got something on the stove.
I don't know how long we can stay before the burning happens. But if you have anything that possibly will keep evil from escaping so that we could put it around the weird open space, or like something that like burns the darkness or something, that would be
Mr.
great.
Pavarti, do you happen to have salts that have been infused with either sage or rosemary?
I lean over to Benny. I'm like,
I
she said
do.
something about cornbread.
She did. Yeah.
I have those things, of
You know,
course.
I think
Why don't you come on in? And she lifts up the broom that's on the ground in front of the door and leans it. Come on in. You can settle in for a minute. I'll
I
get you a
think
little
we
bit of
could
food, and I want to
spend-
talk about the burns and stuff you got. I got to clean that up. I cannot let you leave unwell. Gazzy wouldn't let you leave unwell like that.
I equal parts know I have no strength, and also know the urgency of burning this ding dang darn tree.
something tells me we can take 10 minutes.
I feel like you're saying that for a very specific reason. Benny.
There are some things for keeping everything within the bounds I need to speak to Ms. Pavarti about. It might be worth our time to spend that time resting and recuperating. We have had a harrowless 24-hour period.
And she walks into her stove, and she on the table next to it, she starts cutting out some cornbread and making bowls of beans. Y'all sit down for a moment, eat a little bit. Let me get you something for those wounds, and let's heal you up a little bit. You look a mess, and I do not want you going messing with a tree like that. I mean, you could become a worm or something, right? Isn't that what you told me? They makes you into worms. I don't want that to happen.
You see a little light bulb go off above Benny's head.
Do I see that light bulb go off above Benny's head about turning into worms?
She doesn't say anything. But she's fully sitting there eating her
Can-
cornbread going,
Can I roll for father sense kicking in?
oh,
You don't need to roll.
it
It's
kicks
there.
in right away.
Yeah. Benny? No.
Huh?
No.
Hey,
Whatever.
Father?
Whatever it is you're thinking about doing, we're not doing that. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is, but that's not what we're doing.
Do you have any more blessed metal?
You see him hesitantly reach in and pull a very simple, just punched silver crucifix off from his neck.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last bit that I have on me. And I'd rather not lose this.
Yeah, keep it. I was just thinking. And Tegan goes into her far away, like, that calculations meme place.
So, to the Mind Palace.
Yeah.
Above,
And she's gonna try and craft some weird things while stuffing cornbread in her mouth.
yeah, there's a shotgun up above the front door. There's a pistol on the table, and she's feeding you. And she goes, "Give me a moment. I'm gonna get something for y'all to help clean that up a bit." She comes out with some cloths that smell horrible. Come on over one at a time. And she starts wiping down whoever comes over and cleaning them up. And anyone watching would notice that she's wiping down cuts and stuff, and they close to flesh. They don't stay open wounds for long after she rubs them.
After Benny gets rubbed down, she goes to Walt. It doesn't smell as bad as Gazzy's place.
Yeah, this actually smells kind of good.
Cutting back to Erwin while you eat and get some healing going on. You feel after you stop, you feel yourself shoved through the ground, almost like you have left the worm and are just being pushed, and your body is like a hammer pushing through the soil and the roots. You're not sure the direction, and you feel yourself, your bones and your flesh breaking and cracking, and then the pain disappears as you break the surface and find yourself in scrubby bluegrass near a great and beautiful tree. It has a welcoming eye that slowly closes and opens while it looks at you, and you think you even see a mouth that, well, it would be closed at this time, I guess. And you feel it studying you. Its leaves and branches are just beautiful green, and there's flowers that hang down that are violet and green and a velvety black. There are insects buzzing about it. I mean, it's kind of dark at this point, but you can see in the dark. You know that. You know, they got stripes. They must be a bunch of bees.
Beautiful.
The sky is just gorgeous. It's almost like you can see not only the stars, but rows of color and violet and blue sort of rolling across the sky, and in whatever distant stars are. You don't probably you're a scientific person. You probably know they're very, very far, but you never get to see the stars from a place like this. There's no light here except for what the night brings in the moon, and the moon is like a red fire of glory.
What is happening? What are you doing? Shouts at the tree. What is your plan?
You came to me, so I bring you back. You need to serve the world and save it from the risks that come.
What risks?
They'll be here soon. You'll know it when you see it. You know all the spells and the conjurations now in that book. All the words are now part of your mind. And that's when you realize you don't have the book. You don't need it no more. The book is you. You do not need that. And I need you to protect the world from what's coming.
I knew this time would come.
The world
I'm
may
ready.
end in fire if you cannot stop it.
I'll do whatever I need.
You should rest and be ready. I'll give you shade. And there are insects that kind of come over, and there's a bee kind of on your nose or something, and you remember bees are nice. You had friends that had bees that were protective, and it walks across your eyeball and you don't even notice it, and then another bug chases it off, and when the two cross it, it kind of makes you blink a moment, and for that moment the tree looked dingier, maybe darker for a moment. The shade comes back to beautiful again, and the bugs fly off. And you recognize where you are, sorta. It's in your mind somehow, but not of your mind. And you hear people talking to you. And they're talking to you about fire. Fire is how the earth is how the world is brought to an end. We gotta not let the fires come and destroy all. You know the words. You can pull the magics from the night. You see a shooting star go across the sky for a moment. You've always known that seeing that was supposed to be good luck, if you're somebody who believes in that kind of thing, of course. Do you believe in that kind of thing?
Of course.
So the night is on your side. The darkness is yours.
I lie down and
The grass
get
is
ready.
cool. Your legs hurt though. It feels like maybe the bones are broken, and it pains to move about that way, and your back is sore. You were cut in ways that you didn't know you could be cut. There's scrapes and scratches across your skin from being forced in through the soil itself. But the grass is so cool. The blue grass just feels refreshing.
I'll try to recall or think about something that I'll know in these newfound words to heal myself.
Make me an intellect
Rejuvenate.
roll, please.
Okay. That's a 14.
14. You know some words that can bring healing for yourself. You're not sure you could do it for others, but you know you could heal yourself some.
So I begin reciting them in this archaic tongue, naturally.
Yeah, it takes some time. Back at Antipavades, you all get the poultices wrapped over you and wiped you down and cleaned you up. You ate good food. And she says, Benny, you you sure you ought to go there? If you're gonna go, I gotta help you out. Can I trade that knife for a bit?
I got some. It's not my knife.
Oh, whose knife is that then?
But if you give it back to Tegan, I can trade. But Tegan has to have it back.
Still drawing on stuff, Tegan just raises her hand from wherever she is on the porch.
Give me a moment. Tegan, you can have your knife back. I'm going to give Benny a different knife if you don't mind. Is that all right?
Yeah.
She goes in
I
her
mean,
room.
I also got claws.
And she looks at your hands. I mean, I know pretend, but those look like fingernails. I don't know if I'd call them claws.
You're just going to have to trust me.
All right. Give me a moment. And she goes in her room. And she comes out, and there's a knife she has. It's made of silver. It's got some old kind of writing on the side of it. And the hilt is of leather, and it looks old. You got to be careful, though. This is a very sharp knife. And it can definitely do some protecting. And she
Does
puts
this
it
one
back
have a
in the
sheath? Because
Yeah,
the other
it
one
does.
didn't have a sheath.
Yeah, it does. She puts it in the
Okay.
sheath. She ties it onto your belt for you. That ought to do, right?
Yeah, she's good with weapons. I gave her a 45 earlier, and nothing bad happened.
Well, how old are you, Benny?
12.
Yeah, you're about the right age.
She
to
says
start
it
using
confidently. I
firearms.
forgot for a second.
Yeah, you're about the right age to start using firearms. That makes sense.
See?
Yeah.
Looks at front of Bartimaeus.
At 12, you can start working the mines. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. It will break your body. Ooh. Miners are
I think after
tough.
today, I'm done with the mines.
Probably a good idea.
I mean, they wouldn't give you the toughest jobs.
But thank you for the knife.
I hope to see you in a little while when you get done taking care of that tree.
Yeah, I'll bring it back.
Tegan, can I speak to you for a moment in private?
Yeah, totally. Sorry about your porch. Just like follows
Come
her.
on out on the back porch. So, of course, you ought to keep the little one away from whatever's in that cart, the things you have in that cart. But you were asking me about entrapment of a thing of the dark.
Yeah, the more I've had to fight the things that come from this here bleeding tree, the more I am becoming certain that it's from the dark, and it's not really great. We found like a mini one because someone took a cutting of it and tried to plant it and like grow a new bleeding tree, but we destroyed that one. But a big cloud of stuff came off it, and I have a concern that taking out the bigger tree is going to be a bigger cloud, and that doesn't seem like a good thing.
If you want, I can help you make something that can maybe contain its essence in a way where you can trap it. But to make a trap, you have to give something of yourself, and it is not an easy give. It is generally you got to bleed.
I mean, I have already done that to get Evie back, so might as well finish this shit.
All right, give me a moment. And she comes out. She goes in, comes back out. We'll be with y'all in a moment. Just keep eating your cornbread and beans. If you need more, there's more on the stove there, and they're still hot. She comes out with a bowl. How are you with pain?
I mean, I'm pretty good. I got blown up and then had to keep running from a giant worm, so I think this will be fine.
All right. Can I cut a little bit of your hair first? We'll put it in the
Yeah,
bowl.
sure.
She takes the hair. What do you need less? The tip of your pinky or one of your teeth?
I mean, I haven't gotten any to fall out yet, so I mean, I'm actually way up in the game as far as Guilty Hole is concerned, so you can probably take a tooth.
Okay, all right, let's lean you back there. And she pulls out a tool. You recognize pliers. You have seen them in the past. And you use them yourself. I hate doing these things, but it won't work if it ain't got your blood in it. I am so sorry.
Yeah,
And she puts the
you got it.
plier in there, and she yanks so fast, so hard. Y'all in the inside hear a yell like bloody murder, and you know it's Tegan. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's nothing.
I feel like Walter comes busting in like, Taking you all right?
And
She's
she's
bleeding
any
all over her
blood.
mouth.
Yeah, any blood that's coming out, she's making sure to get into that bowl because she said blood is the thing that we need.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, ugh.
Thank you. You were doing it right. You're doing it right.
What in the hell y'all doing?
Don't worry about it,
finishing
Walter.
something.
We're taking care of something. We're preparing something. You know.
Oh, I'm gonna need some of that moonshine later, though. Ah, ooh, ooh.
Could you get us a little I don't think I got no water in there at the moment. Yeah. Oh yeah. Get me a little whiskey. That would be good. That might help her out. Get the two
Yeah, I can
closing up
gladly.
soon. And she starts weaving together some vines into a circle. And she runs them over a flame. She puts a little fire out here and they dry out and they kind of tighten up. And she takes the tooth and she sticks it into them and ties it in, and then she dips the thing in your blood and weaves in your hair. Puts it over the fire again to heat it and dry it out.
I think as she sees her dip it in the blood, she's also, because Benny gave her knife back, and for good measure is just gonna recut open on her palm the cut that she did to get Evie out, and just add some more like blood, just for good measure. You know, and a little extra never hurt anyone.
Sure. And she uses it to absorb all the blood and kind of dries out over and over. Blood dry. It takes about an hour. She goes, all right, you got this now. It'll hold a soul. And she whispers to you a few words that you'll need to say. But you only got one, so, you know, it's a one-time thing.
I
Use
will
it
also
wisely.
note that I do have Cypher Tinkerer, so if we are spending an hour tinkering with a Cypher to make it, it functions at one level higher than normal.
Oh, nice. Very nice. All right. Y'all filled up now? They both come in.
I think we're ready.
Read my life.
Tegan has downed like half the whiskey bottle.
Yeah.
And... Thank you.
All right, well.
I mean, thank you.
And when you go out on the porch, the horses have left. Oh, I guess Gazzy called them back, or they went home. That makes sense. They got you where you needed to go. Well,
Yeah, I just asked for the one favor. I kind of thought they would go back.
well, good luck with the tree killing.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need it.
Well, you got the Lord on your side, don't you?
We do.
And you can tell facetiousness when you hear it.
Oh yeah. So we do, and by His grace, it'll be done.
All right.
Straight face back.
Honestly, Father, faith is faith.
That's my view on it.
Yep.
As long as you do no harm and except for those wish to do yours. Bible has specific things and words for that.
All right. Well, it is late at night. I hope that you know how to get there in the dark. And
That's what we have Tegan and Mr. Gwennon for.
it's a full moon. It's got a tinge of orange to it. Maybe it's a red moon. I mean, there's not much to it, but you never know. Maybe you do know. All right. Well, I hope you're okay. I'll be waiting to hear back as soon as you are done, though. Benny, you make sure that you stay safe, all right? You're young and you got a long life ahead of you.
I got this.
I appreciate bravery. Courage is an admirable trait. And Walter, I'd appreciate some bees over in this neck of the woods. They ain't been growing well here, so if you get a chance when we're all done.
Oh, we'll be back. I'll make sure of it.
All right. And you head out into the night. And you drag the cart along behind, and you head up the hills and down the hills until you get to the dark part of the woods. And you kind of know when you're getting close by the lack of bees and the abundance of flies. Robber flies, to be specific. The trees in this area all look darker and less welcoming than they did not too long ago. Poisoned by the darkness of this, whatever's in the middle here, which you know what that darkness is. And you see down there the tree and a man standing in front of it.
Do we recognize the man?
You recognize sort of a man. It's a broken man, bent legs in unnatural ways, arms cracked back and not moving in the same directions as arms normally would, a face scratched and cut, black lines from whatever running all across it like it was burned by a shotgun shot that wrapped its body, and it is standing out there unclothed.
Okay, one of you two are gonna have to beat the carpet while Benny and I lay down this feeder for perimeter thingy. Yeah.
All right. Let's tussle.
Benny, you ready to run real quick in a circle around this grove to lay down this feeder?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I can run real fast.
Mm-hmm. Make sure the line's not broken. Continuous. Sir.
Professor Hayes, you
Continuous
see
circle-y line.
coming over a hill like 4 horsemen of fire, an apocalypse in flame, beasts that look like they're made of burning ash and lava. From one of them there are like fire bugs or lightning bugs flying off constantly, but instead of those chemical burns, they leave trails of fire and ash in the sky around them. Hundreds of them around that one. And they seem to be walking down toward you and the tree. And the shade under the tree darkens. It means nothing to you, but the 4 of you, you see that figure down there just sort of disappear into the shadow without even walking, just standing there.
So perimeter. we'll find out what's happened. I'm assuming at this point that used to be the professor, probably, or is another dead body that the tree has absconded with. But if it is the professor, Father, got anything that will keep us from getting hit by the it's a polite societal way of putting this. But by the world of pain that we've seen him be able to produce from his little spooky book.
Yeah. Pulling out his crucifix, keeping it kind of into his palm. He's actually pressing it into his palm hard enough to actually draw a very thin stream of blood onto the crucifix. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. As he just continues walking towards the darkness.
Just gonna immediately do a circle before Tegan goes into the darkness. I'm assuming her and Benny kind of like peel off and start doing a circle around the open space.
So you're
And Walter's going to be following closely behind Father Bartimaeus. I got your back. Let's do this.
So you head towards the darkness, and you feel a wind whip up around the tree, and the branches that dangle down. There are, like, the ichor drips down out of them, and looks like they're dangling whips of blackness. They dry on the drip, and the wind starts just whipping these things around. Professor Hayes, inside the tree, you see the eye of the tree open for a moment, and it closes, and its mouth opens. And you never saw it open when it spoke to you before, so that is not expected. And you all, so Tegan, I just want to understand, you're wrapping around one side while Father Bartimaeus comes direct, and Benny and Walter are going around the other side. Is that correct?
So Walter's following Father, and Benny and I are kind of dropping the saltpeter around.
They're creating.
Yeah, we're making the circle.
And you hear a howl, a bellow, so loud it hurts your ears and makes them bleed, and then the earth shakes and rumbles underneath you, and you, for the first time, know that the earth shaking that's been happening, this is the center of all of it. And the ground shakes so hard that you take 6 points of damage. By the way, you were healed up. If you're not at long range, which you're not anymore, it would seem to wait. And then the wind whips up, and those whips under the tree are swinging and swirling like they're in a tornado. Can I get a speed roll from the 3 that were in and under? Walter, you were a little behind.
By healed up, do you just mean our little recovery rolls?
You were backed up to max.
What?
Gazzy was kick ass for you. Not Gazzy, Auntie Pavati.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Gonna be an 11 for me.
Professor Hayes, you see the fire monsters trying to circle you and the tree you're in. and you can feel the tree is at risk, and you're at risk. You don't know what's happening with them, what they're doing, but those things are bringing danger, and you can sense it. All of them, all four. And one of them brings little fire bombs along with it, hundreds of them it seems. And then you feel the presence of the flies starting to come out of the flowers.
And I want to try to command, maybe, how far away from the tree are they now? Roughly?
I'd say they're 30-ish, 20 to 30 feet, somewhere like that.
Okay. I wonder if I could like summon roots or anything like that to try to bind them in place, using the tree and to stop them from approaching, especially with all this wind and stuff going on.
Oh, and did you, I didn't get your speed rolls from those who are around.
18.
11.
10.
Okay. Benny and Tegan are knocked prone. Father Bartimaeus is able to hold himself up. The cart. Make me a might check on the cart, Tegan. See if you can keep the cart from being knocked over and spilled out while you're with it.
That's a nat 20.
Hey-o!
You fall down onto the cart to hold in place. No. Don't blow up under me. Can I get an initiative roll from the four of you? The five of you, actually?
Sure.
That would be a nat 20.
There's a 10 for Walter.
That's also a 10 for Tegan.
12 for me. Everyone.
11.
What was yours, Walter?
Mine was also 10.
10. All right. Father Bartimaeus, you did not fall, you did not go prone, and you are at the point where you can take action or not.
Going off of a hunch, I am going to attempt to call out Professor Erwin Hayes, and I'm going to try to attempt to bewitch the entity which I am assuming is running the tree, or I'm assuming is being puppeted by the tree.
From inside the shadow, from outside the shadow, Professor, you hear something in a language you don't understand, yelling out probably orders or commands for doing evil to you in the trees. You of course only know there's only one language that is.
What's
working.
fun is bewitched does not have to be. They don't have to understand me.
Okay. Let me look at it real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. So you hear these things being called out, and you feel like it's important to just stay where you are and defend yourself if necessary. But maybe this is decipherable, whatever this horrible sounding language is, whatever it is. And you feel it's safe to stay there, but make sure that you can protect yourself. Hold on, I'm going to tell you something in the Discord.
Secrets.
Well, of course. All right. And so you use your bewitching.
Yep.
That is 18. The tree whips those strands out as fast and far and furious as it can. Can I get a speed check from Benny, Tegan, and Father Bartimaeus? Walter is too far to be hit by them.
17.
You dodge the whips as they come, you roll off your cart or whatever, and do not get hit by them.
I'm under the cart.
Yep.
15.
All right. You also are able to dodge the whips.
I'm done with this dice. I yet again got a 10.
And
So, question
get
for
hit
you.
hard. Huh?
Because I cannot move with the bewitching, is there a way for us to just... power of God protects me? I can't move with the bewitching going on.
Correct. Yeah, you can't move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I?
The power of God ain't letting you move.
Yep.
Can I, instead of taking that, whatever you're about to tell me, damage I just took, I would like to use Danger Instinct. If you are attacked by surprise, whether by a creature, a device, or simply an environmental hazard, you can move an immediate distance before the attack occurs. If moving prevents the attack, you are safe.
Moving would prevent the attack. So you could do it.
Okay. Benny
Does it
is
take an
an
intellect point or
expert
something?
of ducking and weaving.
Yeah, makes sense anyway. It makes sense. Benny's a shifty, quick little one. Benny, it's your action.
After ducking and weaving, Benny is focused on this salt line because it's supposedly super important, even though she doesn't really understand it.
Okay.
So she's gonna like quickly look back and make sure her line's not broken,
Not broken.
and then like continue at like top speed, trying to make this circle, going even past her half if she has to get to Tegan. But that is her entire focus right now. Is
All right.
go get the salt.
Can I get a speed roll from you? Let's see how accurate you are if you leave little gaps or holes or whatever. Should be simple enough though. This would be, you just need to roll above a 9.